I don't believe we've met.
We have not. I saw your sign at the village when I first showed up here, but it didn't include any directions for where to go, and I didn't have a comm, so I was a little bit, well, stuck.
You.
Ah. This is a lovely build, by the way. Like, it's very...
Are you on my build?
So nice. I am.
Ignore the hole in the front. I got exploded earlier.
I understand that. That's happened multiple times to me.
Really? Yeah, I think I'm a creeper magnet.
Ah. Mhm. That's fair. I've actually been working with creepers quite a bit recently. That's actually part of why I figured we should speak.
Oh, you're a creeper tamer? Do you befriend them? The creeper
Not
whisperer?
quite.
Oh, that's fun. Sorry. I just saw the explosive in your hand. It immediately started vibrating.
That's fair. Now, I heard that you were killed by storms, correct?
Oh, yeah, just a little friendly neighborhood killing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh,
it happens sometimes.
Yeah, you went over the wall, didn't you?
I did go over the wall. You want to know what's back there?
Oh, I do know, actually. I also went over the wall. Twice, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of jack and shit, isn't there?
Yeah, it's an interesting little birch village they've got back there, I'll admit. Interesting is the word I'll be using, I suppose. But yeah, so you were killed upon going back there, correct?
Oh, yep.
So, I was as well, actually. I went back there twice, and both times I was very soundly, disposed of. Yes, that.
No preamble either. Just the second you go, boom.
Exactly.
Like Terminator movie.
Exactly. We were talking, actually, and then they went completely silent, and hunted me down. It was quite impressive from a logistical standpoint, even if I didn't enjoy it from,
Although, yeah, no, being killed isn't fun, but we can admire the skill behind it.
We can. I was speaking with Gwaine about this, actually, but most of my memories of my home, well, they're not really memories, but mostly, there's a lot of flashes of pain and, things like that, very pleasant. But it's not like that's too disturbing. You get used to it after a while.
Yeah, no, all you can remember from home is a faint sense of pain and then some fear. I can relate to that.
Yeah, and, Dwayne was very, very adamant about the fact that, this world was different, and, it seemed to be a bit of a nicer place, right? But, you see, when
people are people everywhere. I don't think there's a such thing as a nicer world. Just better structured societies.
Yes, you see, when I went over that wall at Stall's base, I'm not the only one who Stall's hunted down. I was actually there with, someone else on the server, Jackdaw, and
I'm familiar.
Mm-hmm. They weren't behind, the wall, at all. I remember Stalls mentioned something about the wall extending past its limits, but if I'm being quite honest with you, Jackdaw was nowhere near the danger, or the supposed dangerous area. That was only me. So going after Jackdaw the moment I went out of Stall's reach was a little bit...
Oh, so it's getting worse. It's nice to hear.
Yeah, I have to admit, Jackdaw has been friendly towards me, has been a source of adventure in this place that I am finding relatively boring otherwise. And I don't take that...
I mean, hey, it's one of the only things we have left, adventure.
True. And I don't take that kindly to, well, people, trying to kill them. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, I noticed. I was actually just talking with Stars earlier.
Yeah, we talked about it a bit later, and it seems like they've calmed down. They don't seem to be going into murderous rages at the sight of my face anymore. but
Wait, how long did that last? At the sight of your face.
I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not sure whether it was my face that set them off, or something about our location. But either way, it was until we met them back at their house itself. It was mostly just, us trying not to be killed.
You... Do you want... Well... Okay, do you want to hear my theory about that?
I'd love to.
Thank you. See, last person I told this to you, implied I was hallucinating. So,
that's
like, honestly,
not very
you could only react better.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw Stars talking with someone right after the whole wall incident.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of a general creepy-ish dude, death-based aesthetic. We made really awkward eye contact for a second, and then he threw himself into the void, which, I mean, kudos,
that's
the void is a
dramatic.
lovely place to hang. But afterwards, Star seemingly had no recollection of the man.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Isn't that interesting?
That is.
Yes.
I've
So
met...
anyway, I think he must have done something with their programming or something to code himself out.
I'll admit, I'm not that familiar with robots, but I suppose you would know this Stall's individual better than I would.
Yeah. To be fair though, I am finding new things about Stars lately. They told me that they couldn't lie. And then I was like, well, how do I know you're not lying about that? And they're like, oh, it's not in my protocol. But they've done it to me before. So honestly, other option is that they are protecting this person because they think I'd be a danger to him. Isn't that ridiculous? Me posing a threat.
Well, I can say I do understand. I am a bit more familiar with the whole protecting people angle of standpoints. People will go incredibly far for, people who they trust.
It's one of the cool things, I guess, about people.
I suppose it is.
Better traits.
I did actually. I had I suppose we could call it a bit of a business deal, I suppose, or maybe.
Ooh, business deal. Are you a businessman with a business plan?
Not exactly. I've become a little more familiar recently with how things are run on this server, which seems to be a very convoluted system of villager trading. But I can trade like a villager if I must. Here, meet me on the highway.
Holy shit. Have your wings been functioning since you woke up? You said you don't remember things?
Yes, they have. They have been functioning. I've been informed that that's a bit of a rarity here.
It is a bit of a rarity.
But 1 second, let me just go up this waterfall. Because I definitely didn't just fly off the side. That would be embarrassing, and I've never done anything like that ever.
Oh, of course not. We're all of us. We understand what's happening at all times.
We do.
We would never.
But I'd actually like to take you to a place that's, if you just keep going straight once you hit the roundabout.
Yes, I'll do that. You're much faster than I am. It will be a bit embarrassing to get just completely abandoned to the dust. Haven's Highway. Infrastructure.
Is that
Making
what it's
infrastructure one day at a time.
Ah.
And you're already way ahead of me.
I will admit, I am probably a good deal more comfortable with this journey than I'd suspect you are, unless you're hiding another lighthouse back here.
I've got secret builds everywhere, baby. You look and there's awkward, like, caves. I have a point to make one on every single edge of the server, just so I can pretend I have dominion over the whole thing.
Ah, that's fair, that's fair. Now, I'll admit I'm not quite used to getting down this way. As you might have noticed, I typically have a bit of an easier way to get down. However,
Untamed parrot? Is that an untamed parrot? Or is that yours?
Is it named
Holy
Evie?
shit.
Is it named
Holy
Evie?
shit.
The hunt for the parrot.
You
You have a parrot!
How
You have a
long?
parrot!
I have been trying to find one of those
Well,
have
I'm
been in
pleased you
jungle
found one.
for hours. I've dragged cats through. Where did it go? Where did the bird go?
It's on your
There it
shoulder,
is.
probably. Alright, there's a bit of a waterfall over here.
You do not know how many times I've died trying to get one of these.
I do not. I'll admit there is here. I'll see if I can build out
There's a bit of a gap.
land. Yes, I have some leaves on me. I'll do my best to build up.
30?
1 second. Cool. Alright, here we are. Now, I have a little something I suppose I'd like to show you, let's say.
Oh, it's very fun to be on the receiving end of this. Please show me your magic.
Of course. Now, you see, I didn't do this originally, as I did kind of hold some hopes that, you know, Gwen's statement about this being a place that's, well, chill, I suppose the word would be. I hope that was true, but as of, well, meeting stalls, I discovered that, you know, maybe I should, you know, just reinvent and go with what my gut is telling me to do, you know, and
Arm up
what my
for your own
instinct does
safety.
be. Yeah. So, welcome to the gunpowder farm.
Oh, Evan, did you get an explosive house?
A bit of one. I've collected all, you're not gonna find anything in the chest, because I've collected it hidden, most of the stuff here. Not all of it, I will say.
That's fair. In
Not all of
preparation for me coming, you're afraid I'd literally blow the whole operation sky high.
I mean,
Didn't do that.
it wouldn't surprise me. That's less a statement about you and more a statement about just when creepers get introduced into the equations, things tend to get blown up. I do have enough memories to remember that these things are meant to be treated with caution.
I mean, unless you want to have a fun time.
Unless you want to have a fun time. That is a good point. I do believe I have played a version of Creeper Tag before. Regardless, that's less, you know, relevant. I feel like
Knife Monopoly.
What's Knife Monopoly?
Right, it's a board game, but they're the most dangerous game, some people say. Knife Monopoly.
Oh. Wouldn't the most dangerous game be more, well... maybe I
Hunting
should...
people for sport?
Yeah. I believe that's
you
fun,
think
though.
so, wouldn't you?
I think I have some memories of hunting people for sport, actually. It's the hostile mob in
Holy
me.
shit! Was your work... You lived in a world of death and pain, apparently. Did you respond?
Oh yes, I did. Often. All the time. The most
So then,
memories
like,
I have...
honestly, what's
All of
wrong
this
with a little hunting people for sport?
Exactly. Sometimes you just, you know, need to die. You can always come back.
Approach it. Sometimes you're just being really annoying, and the way to fix that is sword.
Exactly. It's sometimes when you're in an argument with someone, you know, you just need to really make your perspective known. And sometimes the best way to do that is a well-intentioned stabbing.
To be fair, that is apparently what Stars was.
It is. But I do wonder, you know, I don't really mind Stars, admittedly. I don't mind that they stabbed me. That tends to happen. I'm pretty used to it at this point. But considering the fact that, well, at least as far as I'm concerned, Jackdaw had done nothing wrong. It was a little more concerning. When they immediately
found another parrot.
started stabbing, or attempting to stab Jackdaw as well. Thankfully, Jackdaw was able to escape. But so I think that I just wanted to make
It's
a
a
little
protecting your
awful.
friend sort of thing. I appreciate that.
Exactly.
I don't think stars might not have had control over their own actions. It could very well be someone else's fault.
True, but sometimes, you know, if you've got a sword that's out of control, and, you know, sometimes you have to just take out the sword before you can take out the hand that's wielding it. Anyway.
That is a good line.
Thank you. I wanted to, see, I wanted to, you know, meet up with the other person on the server who was aware of, you know, exactly what was happening.
What was going on?
Yeah, and I wanted to give you a goodwill gesture of a bit of, well...
Holy shit. It's
Yeah.
not the... I love you. I think we're getting along great.
Likewise. And just in exchange for that, you know, if you...
Oh, right, of course. Like, quid pro quo, what do you want?
If you heal... You know, if you have any other experiences with stars, with, you know, this other person, if you, I don't know, if you're killed by them again, if you hear of anyone else being killed by them, if, you know, all of that kind of stuff, just, I'd like to, you know, be alerted of that, if you hear anything.
You know, there's a person who knows about stars glitching?
Hmm?
Well, we've been calling it glitching.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, wait, what did you say?
There's one more person who knows about stars glitching.
Oh?
Well, we've been calling it glitching. It's, Oz. They
Oz.
live... Yeah,
I believe I've met
live
Oz.
at the observatory around here.
Ah.
They were there when I was killed. Well,
Huh.
but...
And they didn't take any action?
No. I don't know if it's because we're friends beforehand, or... I love Jack, but, were they perhaps encouraging you?
Perhaps, but to be fair, it was less of an encouragement and more of a, hey, I'm curious about this, and then I was all like, hi, curious about this. I'm doing it right now, that sounds amazing, let's go, hanging out with you was so much fun. Yeah. Jackdaw is good for adventure. But yeah, so I just figured, you know...
It might have been... They might have known about the encouragement. The only options I could see is either one, they were aware of that Jackdaw had to do with your excursion into the land of pain and stabbing. Or two, it's getting worse, which is worrying.
Yeah.
I guess three, Stars just likes Oz better.
Oz is
Most
the one with
people
green
like
hair,
Oz better.
correct?
Yes.
Right, I think I met them once. It wasn't for very long though. Anyway, so information, and just a kind of, you know, I just felt it would be good to have this kind of connection established, you know, before someone else gets stabbed.
Pre-stabbing talk.
Exactly.
A little chat before the murder. A chat before the slaughter.
And I'd ask that you don't really mention this conversation to anyone else as well. I know that, you know, with a close enough friend, you know, sometimes you might be obliged to, but I've also got a lot of this and I'd hate to use it.
Aw, but wouldn't you feel guilty blowing up my pretty house?
Not really. I don't think I've
Not
ever
pretty
felt
enough
guilt.
for you, huh?
I mean, it would be a bit of a disappointment not to be able to have the view anymore, but, you know, if for a betrayal, I can live with the disappointment.
Betrayal? Is that what this is? Things are getting intense very quickly. I mean, we're already up to betraying each other.
That's
Geez, take me out to dinner first.
That's what you informing someone of a little deal might lead to. But other than that, I don't think there's any reason for us to be worried about betrayal. I value loyalty very much. And you know, I think you do too. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I believe I do. Did you just recruit me to be a spy? Is that what happened here?
If that's what you want to say, I suppose the word spy might be accurate.
Great. Well, thank you for believing me about the evil hacker man.
Of course, of course.
I'll tell you if there are any more sightings.
Thank you. I'll keep you in the know about any info I receive as well. Good luck with your things. I'm not sure what that
It's gonna
is.
be a ship. It's
Your
gonna
ship?
be a ship.
What's a ship?
Yes. Like, I didn't have oceans where I came from. So, but did you have oceans?
Big waddle?
Big water, yes.
I've been informed of them. I don't remember them, but I also don't remember much.
Right. So ships are made to travel across big water times.
Oh.
Except this one is gonna be floating in the void for the aesthetic.
Ah. Of course.
I thought my lighthouse was getting lonely with nothing to call it. For sure.
I can see that. Is that what the lighthouse is meant to do? Oh, everything makes more sense. Well, I hope you have a good time with your gunpowder. I would ask that you
will.
Refrain from blowing me up unless it's really funny. If it's really funny, go for it. Absolutely.
Oh, don't worry. I've been told I have a great sense of comedic timing.
Fantastic! Alright, well, farewell, August. It's been nice meeting you. What is this? Huh. Well, that's not... Huh. Pretty sure that's not a mine shaft. Like, 90% sure that is not a mine shaft. Hello?
Hi? Hello?
Another person.
And who are you?
That's exciting. That's exciting. Oh, let's... Navin? I think I've been going by Navin. Let's say it's Navin. Oh, this is not a normal part of a mine shaft.
No, I'm making this. It's for observing the void in.
Oh. The void, like, it seems to be an awfully big thing here. Oh, wait, names. Names are important, right? I should ask you your name. Hi. What's your name?
Hi. I'm Moth.
Nice to meet you, Moth. Oh, you're Moth! I think I might have stolen from your wheat farm, but I replanted.
Well, then it's not stealing.
Okay, I think I stole I didn't not steal a lot from the wheat farm. It's a really nice wheat farm, if it helps. The waddle actually comes out, like, right next to the, mob farm that's practically under my base. That's not actually a mob farm, it's just really dull, but it's like become a mob farm. So, you know, like when I fall off and die, like, you know, that waddle saved me a lot. Thanks for that, by the way.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, I don't die when it
Anyone
saves
else was
me.
aware of that?
The waddle or the mob farm?
The water.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the bathysphere.
You have wings! Ooh, the bathysphere.
I do have wings.
Fantastic. Are your wings like decoration wings or?
They used to function.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot about people here. Like a lot about people here. I hope they get better.
They won't.
Okay.
That's not how this works.
Okay, it sucks to be you then?
Well, I'm alive, so it's fine.
Yeah. Being alive to talk. I've noticed that a lot of people on here are a little bit touchy about, you know, the respawn mechanism.
I just don't think people should die if they can avoid it.
I mean, I can see the logic in that, you know, it's, you know, dying is very inconvenient, especially, like, if you don't have your spawn set at the right place, so it's like, you're so far away from everything. That's irritating, that's, So, it's spiel. You're making a spiel.
Yeah, it's a bathysphere. It's for observing the void in.
What makes it a bathysphere? Like, are we gonna put water in it? Oh, okay. Because I was like, we could put water in it, but like, I know of at least one person who like doesn't like water, so it would also function.
I think usually they go inside water.
Oh, would it be like in an ocean? Ocean? I've been told that oceans are big water. Is that yes? Okay, fantastic.
That's exactly what oceans are.
Fantastic. Okay.
I mean, it's not as dead as it used to be. There's villagers now.
I think I've called them a few times. Maybe traded with one of them once or twice. Maybe.
I'm not going to stop you. That's what they're there.
Cool, fantastic, okay. I wasn't sure because they were like kind of hidden, but I haven't
hidden. If you want to do me a favor at some point, I could use if you could make and place a blast furnace or what's the other one? Smithing table.
Ooh, okay. I can see what I can. Yeah, I can. I'm pretty sure those. I remember. I'll have to like whack the brain cells a bit, but like if I put my mind to it, I tend to have like memories of crafting recipes and stuff pop up. You know, I just need to like really.
They're not too hard. They just need iron.
Oh, okay. Is that iron? Is have you not found any iron yet? Or I noticed that you're like one of the only people on the server who's not currently like wearing armor. Like most of everyone else who I've interacted with is like full iron by now, which is kind of weird. Okay. Okay. I mean that's fair. It's also not my thing. Like, why would you need armor? Like, if I'm getting hit enough that I die, then like, okay, I'm dead. I'll just respawn with full health and full hunger. Like that's more useful, you know.
Your shield has iron if you haven't noticed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does. Is that bad? Should it not? Oh, okay. Is it bad for you? Am I like poisoning you? That sounded too exciting. I didn't mean that like I'm excited way. I swear. I mean, maybe I did,
like,
but
eyes sparkling, so excited. Am I poisoning you? No, you're not poisoning me.
Okay, cool. I would feel kind of bad about that. Like I that is the kind of thing you feel bad about, right? Yeah.
Are you not sure?
I mean, things are kind of weird here, you know? Like, everyone's been all like, oh no, stabbing's like rude. Don't do that. And it's like, all the instincts I have, you know, are like, oh yeah, no, you wake up, you get your sword out, because it's time for a fight. Like, everyone's all like, oh no, you can't fight someone in my fantasy Costco. And it's like, why?
Know,
like,
what's a little violence between friends, as long as no one dies.
Exactly. And I mean, even if someone, that doesn't have as many consequences here. Or like, I mean, I'm not. I've been around some people who've like kind of implied that death is like supposed to have consequences, which is like kind of odd. But like, I haven't experienced any of them, so.
Generally, death is understood to be permanent, at least where I'm from.
So it's like. So I think Wayne. Well, Wayne said they had like limited lives, but like permanent. Yo, I don't remember much of like Will Antoine, but relatively certain death was not permanent there. Like, I'm almost 100% certain. Has there really been no one here with walking wings? Like, I know Wayne said that like birds' wings were broken, and like I know that like Jackdaw's wings like never walked, but like, have you? Is that like is no one here?
Not that I've met. But it's not a function of this place, or at least it's not always a function of this place.
Have you met any other like hostile mobs?
Sure, I've killed plenty.
I prefer you not
Are you
kill
hostile
me.
now?
I mean, inherently, yes. I'm not like about to start killing you. That would be rude, apparently. But like, you know, I'm not gonna like start stabbing unless like I'm ordered to, or unless, you know, you stab me first. But I think I'm pretty inherently hostile. I mean, I've got the whole like player tracker thing that all hostile mobs have. So
You have a what?
the whole player tracker, you know, like where you can like track like. I mean, it's not like tracking. It's just more like I can kind of like feel like I get a feeling when there's like a person around. It's how I found you down here, you know, and like why I actually kind of like went
Fluffing?
down here.
I count as a person?
Yes, is that? Yeah, no, you definitely count. I definitely found you. I don't tend to jump down here for funsies. Do you want the emerald I traded from one of your villagers? Will that make you feel better?
You can keep that.
Okay. Yeah, you register as a person to me. I mean, to be fair, I don't know much about like things, but like I do know the whole like you know, it's not like if like I can't like use it to like find spider spawners or like zombie spawners or any of those, you know, because those just register as like, oh yeah, you're like me. So like you, and then like Jackdaw, you know, like neither of you, and then like Wayne, like all of you, you know, like I mean, I kind of found you because I was like looking, you know, and like, you know, Wayne had like a lot of cobblestone everywhere, and like I'm pretty sure cobblestone isn't naturally generated, or at least not that often. But you know, a lot of how I like eventually was able to like track everyone down was, well, you know, they gave off the whole vibe. I don't know, maybe vibe's not the best way to describe it. So yeah, I'm guessing that means you haven't met anyone else like me, though.
Not like you, no.
I've gotten the vibe that like a lot of people think they're not supposed to be here, apparently. Which is interesting. I mean, I don't know where else.
I'd rather be here than anywhere else.
Yeah, it's like I don't know where else I would even be. Like, where would I go? It's like, is studying the void like a thing that like everyone is doing here? Cause you're definitely not the first person I've met who's, you know, intrigued by it.
I don't think everyone's doing it, but I figured someone should do it in a less haphazard way than August.
Jumping off the side constantly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met August.
So this is for observation.
Ah, what do you plan to observe in it? Is it like Does it change? That's fair. I mean, I suppose even just if it's your downhill and you discover it doesn't change, like that is data. So win-win scenario.
Exactly.
These whole things, though, I mean, they're interesting. It gives me kind of similar vibes to like a lot of the roads and stuff I see up there, but like these ones, I mean, do you think there like used to be islands down here that like connected all this, or like what?
I don't know.
Actually, speaking of like the railways to different islands and stuff, have you like made any, or like up there, or like do you have like a lot of, because I've noticed like a lot of different kind of ones, you know, and like I've kind of like started to get people's build styles down regarding what kind of bridges they're making, but like also I don't know, and it's like I don't know if like there's like ever a bridge like I shouldn't go on or what. And I have a feeling I'm gonna like get horribly modeled because I go on the wrong bridge one of these days.
I haven't made any bridges that you're not supposed to go on.
Oh, no? Okay, cool. Cool.
If you find any ones made with wood slabs, those are probably made by me because I have an oak farm and I'm bad at remembering to have blocks on me. So usually I just go, oh, I have a handful of oak logs, and then I make them into slabs, and then I have enough blocks to bridge with.
Oh, that's valid. Yeah. Well,
yeah, I have one librarian. I'm hoping to breed my villagers some more. I have some more life turns I can make some more librarians, but you know, it's always a gamble.
Yeah, I've heard that villagers are like that. I mean, in my experience, you know, villagers are all, I don't know how to say this without it being extremely insulting. In my experience, villagers suck. And they're always mean to you. They're always really mean to you. So...
Really?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they probably do have a logical reason not to like me. But it's also like, when they're ripping me off for like, you know, maybe like few arrows, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, you have a logical reason to dislike me. That makes sense, you know, not just want to be like, die.
If you want me to do some training for you so that you don't get ripped off,
ooh,
I can do that.
I might take you up on that, honestly. I
do have some discounts because I did cure a couple zombie villagers.
Ooh,
Just let me know if you need anything.
Aye, I shall. Good luck with your bathysphere.
Thank you. I'll see you around.
Learn a lot about the void.
Hello?
Hello. You're Oz, correct?
Yeah, Navin, right?
Yes, fantastic. Every day I get better with names. It's very impressive.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. I'm happy for me as well.
Why are you holding, oh yeah, you're always holding that,
No.
Oh, hi, there's a new rat on my shoulder, sorry, hello. Hello, new rat, that's very nice to meet you.
You have a bit of an infestation going on, Bill. Are you not concerned?
It's not an infestation, it's friends, it's all friends.
Well, I would hate to get in the way of you and your rats. I noticed you have the little journal notebook thing out again. In your blood?
You mean the journal? Is it in my blood writing?
The note-taking. Yes, as a scientist. Is it? I noticed that when I met, August is not a myth. I did learn that August is not a myth. I had a brief interaction with them. They also had a little notebook. Is that, do they have similar blood to you?
I mean, we are both, you know, I guess we are both scientists? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
We both do note taking and stuff just to understand what's happening and everything.
Oh, fantastic. So you want to understand what's happening?
In a way, I like the idea of seeing what we can, do here. I mean, I have started Jurassic Park and everything, just,
Jurassic
what
Park.
we can make.
Care to give me a bit of an explanation? I'll admit, I've been by this a few times, but I am lacking any further knowledge on it.
It's sure. It's a fun place. Okay, we don't have much right now. So it all sort of started when I found some fossils in a desert. And then I just kind of, decided. I had this crazy idea. I don't think anyone's ever had it before of trying to use the fossils to extract DNA from them and combine it with the DNA of. Well, originally I wanted to do a frog, but as you know, there are no frogs in Minecraft, so Gerald was there and a willing participant.
So this is for your bones. You're combining bones with. Interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna do a whole thing. The experiments weren't quite working out, but since the park was initially, you have bones.
I do. I was gonna give them to Gawain, but if you think you could get more use of them, I will admit they're not. I didn't find them anywhere. I just kind of, smushed some bones together. I heard that Gawain needed some of them, so.
Oh no, I actually donated mine to Gawain because the experiments were not panning out exactly, but I did get to find a couple of other things to add. The Stars and I had a very fun time getting this guy.
I'm sorry, what is that?
So this is, I believe, is a piglet. Now, you can't quote me on this.
That's terrifying.
The science that
That's
I practice,
terrifying. I hate that.
Okay, I'll cover that up for you then. The science that I practice is more mechanical, so I'm not the best at that kind of stuff. Probably why Jurassic Park did not quite turn out. But
you mentioned that you found that thing with stars, right?
Yeah, with stars, we did we had a whole mission where we got it in here.
Regarding stars, I've heard that apparently they're glitching out some.
Yeah, that is kind of, where did you hear that?
Maybe it's a bit less that I heard it, it's a bit more that I experienced it firsthand. I'm not angry, really, with stars. I will admit I was a bit taken aback when I, got stabbed by them twice.
Was that the wall?
It was the wall. I believe you have a bit of experience with that. Less in the getting stabbed way, but more in the seeing.
Yeah, I was there when August and I found out the hard way about this new wall. Do you mind if I just work on the highway a little bit?
Oh yeah, of course. That's also how. Oh, by the way, do you have some food I could have?
I have chicken.
Thank you.
I know people have different preferences.
Chicken's good. I found that I'm pretty much good with anything so far.
Okay.
I don't remember. I can't eat bones, which is unfortunate. The amount of times I've tried to eat bones is, I don't know. It's a little. Wait, where did it go? There you are.
Right.
But yes, it happens maybe a little too often. But anyway, sorry. That's I get distracted at times. We were talking about stalls, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You were saying that you have gotten
personal experience.
With the wall. What?
Yeah. So Jantha and I also learned the hard way that Stalls is a little protective over that wall. In that, went over it, you know, as I was curious. A little bit of good old-fashioned exploring is good for the soul, you know. And then I was
Sure.
modeled about 3 seconds later, and then I, you know, went over the wall again, a bit sneakier, and then, you know, we had a good old fun, you know, I was modeled again, and then Stalls chased me down, and I was modeled again, and I accidentally reset my bed into this little creepy village Stalls has, and then I was, well, I wasn't modeled again, I was nearly modeled, and then I flew away, but, you know, and then Stalls turned their attention to Jackdaw, and nearly modeled Jackdaw, but Jackdaw got away, you know, it was a whole thing.
That does sound like an ordeal. Was it Jackdaw's idea to cross that wall?
Oh yeah, I mean it's yeah, no, I actually, so I need some amethyst shards. So we went over there like partially for me to get the amethyst shards, you know. But then Jackdaw also mentioned like being curious about the wall, because you know it's a pretty big, pretty serious looking wall. So I was like, well, I've got wings, you know, I can do this pretty easily. So I was all like, whee, over the wall, you know. And then Stalls was all like, model! And then we were like, okay, well that was suspicious, so we went back, right? And then I was all like, wee, over the wall. And Stalls was once again like, model! And then I accidentally respawned in the village, and Stalls was like, model! And then Stalls saw Jackdaw, and it was like, model! You know, there was a lot of model.
Sure. That does sound like a lot of murder. I mean, if it helps, I don't think Stars is doing it entirely on purpose or anything like that. I just, you know,
Is it like a personal belief you have here, or?
I believe that this is just a weird glitch that Stars does not, you know, want other people to see, but I don't really know how to convince them to let me help. It's kind of my thing. I'm kind of familiar with mechanics.
Well, that's interesting. And I just had one other thing I was wondering. Because you weren't modeled by Stalls, correct? Do you know why you seem to be the one person who has been involved in a little tangle, you know, with Stalls and that wall, and yet you're the one person who hasn't been immediately shanked?
I don't know. The only difference that I've noticed was that I never went across that wall when Stars was there. I mean, August did sort of rope me into crossing it at one point, but yeah, I've also seen that village, but
yeah. The thing is, I'm not quite sure. See, Jackdaw didn't cross the wall either, and in fact, I seem to. I'm not sure if it's my face that was setting Stalls off, or if it was if Stalls considers the wall to be a bit more of a metaphorical concept that goes a bit further than it actually does. But Jackdaw, I'm the only one who actually, went over that. So I'm really the only one who Stalls should have gone off about. So, if this is a glitch, I might be a bit worried that the glitch is getting worse. And I don't know how. You mentioned that you have experience with, mechanics and things like that. And in my admittedly probably more limited experience than yours, when weapons are broken, they tend to be a lot more dangerous than they usually are.
I don't think of Stars as a weapon, though. I think of Stars as just another individual. But that being said, I can't imagine that it's nice to lose control like that. And I think just because they're, not not entirely flesh and bone and stuff, it doesn't mean that.
Okay, maybe weapon wasn't
They should
the
be
correct word to be
regarded.
using. How about? I mean, I own golems. How much experience do you have with them?
Little bit. Very hard to kill.
Yes. Do you have experience with them when they've they are typically forces of protection for villagers, but if one is created by the wrong person, they can be a bit more, of a force for harm. And if they're a force for harm that gets out of control, and it's not their fault. It's just simply what they were created to do. But it doesn't make them any less dangerous when they're trying to kill you.
I guess.
Anyway, and we don't need to. I'll admit, I have just been a bit curious about stalls ever since the whole, stab. But we don't need to go into that one. I'll admit, reliving every time I was stabbed is probably not my favorite experience to do.
Sure,
but yes.
I can't imagine that was pleasant.
You're Oz, so you're Oz, and you're making this, correct?
Yep.
Well, is there any way I can help?
I mean, do you have any, any idea? Here, come with me to my house. I live right there.
Is this your house?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually, when I woke up here, I stopped by here, but it seemed that no one was home.
Yeah, I have been out and about sometimes. I've known to do that, go on little collecting missions.
Oh, I get it. I don't tend to stay in one place either.
My army of parents.
Yes, I did notice the parents.
Yeah, really. Crazy how that is, huh?
You have a little thing here.
What?
I didn't see this the first time. Oh, this is cozy. Oh, wait, what's...
This
Thank
is
you for being my friend.
I don't know if you've met them.
I
Red
have
is
not.
One of the new people who we've met here. I offered to let them stay with me here while they were looking for a house, and they, I guess, left me a really nice present.
Oh, that's really nice.
A really nice present.
Yeah, that's really nice. Friend, huh? That's so friends. Is that the term for alliances that's used here?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's alliances. Alliances implies more conflict than I think there is, but, yeah, it's sort of, that's what I call, everyone, like, August and Moth and Stars and everybody. Is that my book or is that your book?
I think this is your book.
Not that, it's, you can browse, but, hey, Rat saying that it's not, hey, listen, Rat that's complaining about me crafting my bread slowly, did you consider that it's perhaps for dramatic effect while we talk?
I've heard of, this K person that was supposedly threatening stars.
That's the last I sort of heard from, Kay.
Okay. Does not heal bells. I'm seeing that under the waves. I remember there was something up in another book I picked up about bells. Is it, bells a notable thing? Amber has wings.
Oh, have you met Amber?
I have not, but you're telling me there's someone else with wings here? I mean, do Amber's wings work by chance?
No. As far as I know, you're the only one whose wings actually work here.
Hey. I mean, I would like to have someone else with wings. ask you, but I don't mind being special.
Sure.
Interesting. I'm seeing something
moved over into
about
the corner.
keeping an eye on August.
Oh, that was I don't know if you're aware, but they have been jumping in the void recently, and it seems to be affecting them, but they don't want to talk about it or try to stop it or anything. And
Interesting.
yeah,
And I'm seeing you're not telling August about a village.
Oh, that is something that that's a village that I showed Jackdaw, and I remember taking that note.
Jackdaw
Like I
seems
said.
logical about things, so I can see that. All right. Sorry, I'm done snooping through all your stuff now.
Try and figure anything else out. Oh,
Well, hello there.
hi. Who
You.
are you?
I thought there was no one around. You're an Enderman, aren't you?
Yeah. Enderman B hybrid. Name's Amber. At your service.
Oh, fascinating. I'm pretty sure you are the first other, hostile mob that I've met that isn't, immediately out to kill me. Well, I mean, to be fair, most Endermen aren't immediately out to kill me. They just are once I put them in a boat and hit them. But still.
Technically, I'm a neutral mob on both my Enderman and my B side, but you know, and honestly, Enderman, they get mad at anything. But what's your name? I haven't seen you around before.
I haven't seen you around before either. I'm, let's say, Narvin.
Oh, I've heard of you before. You were with Jackdaw, weren't you? You
I was.
tried to go to the stars and got killed.
I did, yes. You seem to know more about me than I.
God.
Oh, same.
Yeah, because
Oh, you by chance Ambo?
I am. Yeah. So just before.
Fascinating. Okay. So you are Amber. You're the one who yesterday became acquainted with stars, or recently. I'm not great with time.
I'm not great with time either. But yeah, if you mean acquainted as in I tried to ask a simple question and tried to get over a simple wall and got murdered a bunch, then yeah, that's what happened. I got acquainted with them.
Yes, the wall. I actually wanted to speak with you about that.
Are you the person that left those signs?
I did. Yes, I've become
you
aware that
signed it.
Signed it?
Signed it, yeah. Like say, oh, from Navin, or oh,
Is that a thing I'm supposed to do?
It's common courtesy, I think. But I was just confused. I wasn't gonna show up. Not gonna lie, because yesterday was it's a lot has happened recently, and I just kind of want to finish my house. But if you wanted to show me something, then I'll guess I'll come with.
Yeah, I feel like the two of us. Well, I was just interested in meeting, whoever else had been, killed by stars. As there were now 3 of us who have been killed, 4 of us who have been attempted to be killed, and I feel like it's better that we remain aware of each other.
Yeah. It was you and Jackdaw went together, then August tried, and then I tried. So that's 4, right? Yeah.
Yep, it is. So,
okay.
You said you went over the wall, right?
I tried a few times. I got like a dirt bridge over the wall, if that helps, but yeah, I didn't really get over the wall. And it's raining.
Yeah. It is. I did.
This is why I have a roof over my house under an island, just in case.
That's fair. I can understand that. I did actually notice yesterday. I saw your death message, and I noticed that on one of them that you were pushed into water by stars. I'm guessing that's Enderman side of you. Ow.
Yeah,
Jesus.
It's pretty.
Ow.
Are you okay?
Yes. Legs. They're unfortunate.
Wait, can you fly?
Yes. I'll admit I have a bit more weight than I'm used to, so I can't exactly boost myself the way I could, but wings still work. I heard that yours didn't.
Weird. Yeah, mine doesn't, and then this person called Birds doesn't, and apparently they used to be able to fly, and then this other person named Jackdaw, I mean, their wings, they could never fly. And then Whimsy, like, had butterfly wings, but she couldn't fly, or didn't try to fly. So you're the first person that can fly.
I've heard that from a few people.
How come the islands gave you your wings, but not mine? Good lord.
You have my sympathies. I'm very happy I do have the ability to fly. I think if I had to only deal with legs, I would just, well, it's a good thing I don't have to.
Legs aren't that bad, but
yes,
definitely not used to not being able to fly at all.
Legs are that bad.
You know?
Legs are horrible. I was thinking, I saw that message, and I was beginning to suspect that maybe, you know, the Amber who was killed by Stalls was also the Enderman hybrid I'd seen, as I've only seen one Enderman hybrid so far. I feel like the two of us could be good friends, and I also feel like I could help you with your little rain problem.
Really? That would be so great. Helmets usually work, but they just don't this time, and like nobody has the courtesy to build like roofs over any of the paths. Or if they have, they don't work. I haven't seen anyone even try. So I keep meaning to do that, but every time I remember, it starts. It's because it's raining.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. Well, it's
not super convenient.
I will admit these aren't quite roofs, but it should help you when you're in an area where, well, a roof is not an option. Also, I bought a gift for you. I wasn't sure, but...
A gift?
Yeah.
Oh my god, thank you.
I figured... Do you know your way back to the village? Because I haven't actually... I've been in this direction some, but...
I do, yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's my house. I should know how to get to the main village.
True. Nice wings, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, if you see any oxeye daisies or dandelions, you should pick them up.
I have been picking up daisies. Why?
Fantastic. They'll be a bit useful for what I'm going to show you. So, how familiar are you with mushrooms?
Mushrooms? They mush in rooms?
Yes.
That's all I got, really.
Cool, okay. I'm not going to lie. You know, every time Stalls went after me about the whole little village thing, I just got, what's the word for it? More and more intrigued. Yes, there we go, more and more intrigued about what could be there, so.
Anything. Didn't say a single thing about it. Like, oh, the villagers, like, yeah, sure, but like, wouldn't other people helping out be like, better? Or like, if they did have any village and they really did survive whatever happened here, then...
You know,
what's down here?
This is just a little tunnel I've carved out for myself. You might want to set your spawn here. Oh, you might not want to, actually.
I've seen this before.
But yes, so there's actually a little... You see, going at the wall by Stalls' house is a little dangerous, as I'm sure you've learned.
Yes, I've learned that lesson a lot.
Yes,
but... Is there like another way to get across? Because apparently the bridges that Jackdaw's been making have been destroyed.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, so they'll all actually a few other ways. We're probably gonna need to... I can fly, but since you can't, correct?
No, I
can't.
I guess assuming by the fact that you haven't built a path, you haven't shown anyone else this path, have you?
I have not, This
direction?
I figured, you know...
Well, thank you for showing me at any rate.
Of course. Anyway, if we go this way, actually, and we don't need to right now, as it is daytime, but probably once it gets closer to night, we'll want to start hopping up on trees.
Oh, yeah.
But you see, so here is Stalls' house. We've come, like, right around the back of it, right?
Oh, yeah, that is Stalls' house, okay?
I will say, so, Stalls is, I don't know, how much do you know about Stalls' little wall? Like, how much did Stalls, like, tell you? How much did you figure out?
I mean, they said something about a village and how people, like, there were people there that wanted to be protected and they were protecting them, and then, like,
And they seemed very insistent that no one else should meet them, or that like the villagers were very, very secretive, or private, or whatever. Or I mean, I don't think they're being truthful. I think they're lying, but that's just my guess. And then like I saw smokestacks over the wall. I don't know if you saw them. But
Yes, I did.
I haven't seen many villages with smokestacks.
Yeah, no.
That's about it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I met this one guy after.
Oh,
and then
interesting.
this like skeleton guy, like he owns that funeral home in the village. Wears purple. So and then like I asked Jackdaw about it, or I asked Stars about him, and they said they didn't know anything.
Oh.
So I mean, it doesn't mean anything because that guy seems really, really secretive, you know. But yeah.
But so I will warn you. So the wall's over there. So we're all very much firmly not on the side of the wall. However, my interactions with Stalls have led me to believe that the wall is a bit less of a, you know, physical thing and a bit more of a metaphorical concept that changes whenever Stalls is annoyed. You know, wants to get someone out of their hail. Metaphorical hail, I suppose.
I mean, it must be a very strong metaphor if it's worth killing over, but
yeah,
I'll see where you're going with this.
Yeah, see, and the reason I'd say that is because, you know, Jackdaw was actually, you know, like when I went there with Jackdaw never actually went over the wall. That was just me. I'm the only one who did that, and yet, you know, you don't need to jump down. That was just, I wanted to take care of a few things. There we go. Much better.
What? The sheep was white before, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Here we go. Okay
then. Must
then,
really like the color red then.
It's the best color for sheep.
Just for sheep?
Just for sheep. But see, I'm the only one under, you know, the act that the logic of don't go behind the wall that should have been killed there. But, you know, Stalls, when Jackal and I went to speak with them later, claimed that, you know, the wall extended past the physical confines of the wall, and that Jackdaw had been passed the other part of it, which, you know, I'm not sure what you think of that explanation, personally.
That's just weird.
Want to color your thoughts, but yes, that's what I was thinking as well.
Glad to know we're on the same page then.
We are. This is kind of the entrance to the Dark Oak Forest, and well, we aren't, I don't believe, we're not technically behind the wall. Technically,
yeah, we're on a different island.
Yeah, it's, you know, Jackdaw was also on a different island, so, you know, I'm really not exactly sure how, this is not the way I meant to go, how much, you know, the wall actually counts for anything, or if it is just a explanation and excuse.
Excuse for what? They must be, again, like, I said this to Jackdaw a million times when I talked to them. They have to be hiding something in order to, like, be so protective over that wall.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But, you know, the whole thing with Stalls killing you by pushing you into water, not ideal. But
no, it sucks.
If you want to grab the mushrooms for that, that's the, you know, the first ingredient in mushroom stew. And mushroom stew itself, you know, it's a food, it's not, like, greatest of foods. It's, you know, it exists. It's.
I've never really had it before. I've had it like a few. I'm sure I've had it a few times. So I don't really remember. Certainly never had it here.
Yeah, but if you make mushroom stew and then you combine certain flours with it, you can actually get special effects. And the really interesting thing about those special effects actually is that when you do that, you can consume the soup even if you are on full hunger.
Oh,
so
that's weird.
It essentially, especially if you're using the right flours, serves as a way to quickly regen health without, you know, needing to actually, you know, like, get yourself hungry. So it can really get you out of a pinch there. And then if you want to come over to this red mushroom over here.
Sounds super useful.
Yes, it is.
What am I gonna do with all these mushrooms?
Well, I can show you. Right, so have 4 bowls. And
bowl.
Do you have dandelions or oxeye daisies in your inventory?
I have some oxeye daisies, as long as we don't use all of them, but I don't have any dandelions.
Okay, here I'll fill you 2 dandelions. So if you put one right? And then one of each type of mushroom, and then a dandelion in there, you'll get what's called suspicious still. And that will be a saturation suspicious still.
Oh.
And then if you
So
do the
it,
same
like-
thing,
Helps out your health?
yes, and
That really useful, actually.
Yeah.
Why did you leave? Was this all you were gonna show me? This is why you had all those cryptic signs, or?
yeah,
there some-
so this was mostly why I left the signs. I also just wanted to, get to know you, get to you see if there were any, substantial differences to all experiences with
I mean,
dolls.
as far as I can tell, not really. Unless Star said something else to you that you're just not telling me.
No, not really. Not much else was said. It was a lot of aggression, not very much talking. We had been talking, and then they just stopped talking. And tried, stabbing instead.
I mean, I tried to ask them about the wall, but they just gave me the same answers, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna try. And then I tried to get over the wall a few times, they insulted my combat skills, which
Oh. How rude, how rude.
that hurt. But yeah, nothing else really happened. As far a lot
Yeah.
did happen, but nothing else new happened, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get that. But yeah, so I also wanted to just kind of, get out the warning that the wall might be a bit more of a concept than an actual physical thing. They haven't expanded the wall to cover the area where Jackdaw was, they just took down
Yeah,
Jackdaw's
they
thing.
just kept taking
so.
down the paths, yeah.
I will admit, I have most of my interactions with stalls, have been, other than the model ones, have
Trying to
been
get over the wall. Yeah.
relatively, peaceful.
Like they seem like the last person to try and commit murder over a wall. Like out of everyone else I've met, like August and probably Jackdaw. Actually, Gwen's chill.
Gwen is
probably
very
really
chill.
mean.
Gwen is very nice, yes. But yeah, I figured it was probably best to kind of just have open lines of communication regarding this whole situation. Especially
Actually-
between all of us who actually know and understand how much of a danger Stalls poses. As I understand how Stalls is, order and coastal friends on the server would of
Yeah,
course
yeah,
naturally
yeah.
be protective of them, but
Actually, do
when
wanna
you murder
try and-
someone a
we
bunch
could-
of times.
we
Go
could
back
come
now.
up with a plan. No, we should go back, but we could come up with a plan to try and get over the wall.
I mean, I'm down.
Because it seems like every attempt has just been someone is trying to rush the wall and the Stars just beats them to death.
Yeah.
And no one has succeeded so far. But if we have a coordinated attack where someone's distracting or fighting Stars, and then someone else is going around, or someone is secretly going down that one valley and someone is or something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Unless there's alerts on the wall, but I doubt that. But I mean, I don't know.
That sounds. I'm
It's
always
just-
down for a good adventure. This place tends to be very boring. I will admit,
Same.
Stalls has been the most exciting thing here. And I would not be very
Are you
irritated about the deaths if not for them also going after Jackdaw.
Oh, I'm ready to go down anytime if you want to come up with a plan or
Cool.
get maybe Jackdaw as well, Jackdaw or August, 'cause they were both interested as well.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
fantastic.
it's up to you. I haven't got anything else planned. I'm just working on my house.
Alright,
And
alright.
was before you crashed in, but
Yeah, I do have some loose plans with a few people too. Depending on what Stalls' continued attitude regarding the wall is, in the villagers and all that. I have a few kind of contingencies, I suppose we could call them, in place for how we could handle that if it escalates any, or if it feels like the time is right. So if it comes to that, would you be alright if I contacted you for assistance?
yes, absolutely.
Jackdaw hasn't been back to the village in a while, or if they have, I haven't seen her. Which is, she mentioned she was far away, so maybe it's not concerning. It doesn't need to be concerning. It's not inherently concerning, I'm sure, but I'm concerned. It feels like it's kind of like a long time to, like, you know, not be around. You know, I feel like it's been a little bit. I don't know. I might just be off. I haven't been sleeping well recently. I'm not. God, it would be so much simpler if I could just kill Stalls. Oh my god, if I could just take care of that easily. So easily. Life would be so much easier. But no, I can't do that. No. Well, I mean, to be fair, I haven't been explicitly told that I can't do that, but well, no, I have been kind of. Apparently, Jackdaw does not want to escalate the situation that much more if I'm remembering it. So that's unfortunate. That's really throwing a wrench in, like, every plan of action I would have to handle this. Things have been quiet. I don't trust that. I do not trust the fact that it's been quiet. I feel like that is just inherently not. There's not much to. Okay, that's. Wait, that's.